When we are writing code, sometimes we can make a mistake and get an error. These errors can cause our code to give the wrong output or crash our program entirely. And you have probably already experienced a little bit of this in course so far. You may have heard of them term debugging before, and this process involves locating and correcting code errors in your program. We often call these errors bugs because computer scientist pioneer Grace Hopper coined the term bug when she found a moth causing an error in her early computer. In this chapter, we will look at some strategies for how to debug your program and how to fix some common errors. Before we can solve errors, we have to understand how our program is executing code so that we can find them. One way we can understand how our program is working more fully and locate an error is by using print statement. The first error in the program we going to look are the syntax error or syntax bugs. Syntax errors often cause your program to fail before it's even executed because the computer has to understand your code in order to run it. This means if something's misspelled or a certain symbol is missing, the program won't run because your code is not in the right format. So let's find some syntax error in this program. These can be easier to find with an IDE because an IDE tells you what line has the error. It may not be that specific line you have to change, but it's probably something around it. Let's take a look. Let's jump to the code. So here we have written a code here in which we have three choices that are given to our user. So user had to select the correct choice, and on the basis of that output will be given to user. So if user selects one of the choice given in here and the output is similar to what the choice is, like the correct answer, I'm selecting from here, like choice 1, 2, 3. So whatever I think is a correct answer, I will be selecting here. Then if user inputs that correct answer, then it will compare with the choice, and on the basis of that it will return an out. So what it returns, if it match, it will return congrats, that's the correct answer. Otherwise it will say you are incorrect. The correct answer is whatever user has inputted, or the correct answer that is given here in this, that is saved in this string. So as of now, if you are seeing, there are red lines shown here. So if we can hover over those red lines, you can see an expected, like a semicolon is expected, and if I will click on this red line, so it will take me where I am getting this error. So if you can see, if you will notice, like there is a semicolon missing at the end of this line. So once I put this semicolon here, so that is basically a syntax error that I am getting. So once I have put a semicolon here, this red line will disappear. So that means my error got fixed. Now moving on to the another red line that I am seeing. So if you can see, there are two more errors that is shown for correct answers. I will go to the correct answer, and if you can see, we have misspelled the correct answer variable. So once I will check the spellings and all, so I will do it as correct answer. Now if you can see, my errors got disappeared. So now it is working fine. So this is how we debug in Java. Let's save this program and try to run. Now I will run the program. So as you can see, I have selected the correct answer as choice 3, and choice 3 here is Saturn. It is asking me to select the choice. As of now, I am selecting the right choice. So let us type Saturn here, and if I click enter, so it will see, you can see that congrats, that's the correct answer that is shown to me. Now what I will do, I can change the choices here, and I will try to run it again and see what happens. And I'm again giving the choice as Saturn. So it is saying you are incorrect. The correct answer is Jupiter. So this is how our program works. Now to check what user is typing. So I will check for the user input first so that I can compare it with the correct answer. So as of now, a debugging technique that we can use is system.out.print. So what I will do, I will print out the input variable that what user is inputting, and I will type the correct answer choice. So whatever correct answer that we are giving. So this is a debugging technique that we can use to compare the two values so that we will be aware of the fact that what our input is and what the correct answer is. So these techniques we can use. So let's try to run our program and see what happens. Now I'm typing Jupiter here and clicking enter. So if you can see, a user input is printed, like user has inputted Jupiter and the correct answer is also Jupiter. And after that it is printing congrats, that's the correct answer. So this is how it goes. Let's try to run it again and let's check for another input. I will type Earth here, and if you can see, user has entered Earth and the correct answer is Jupiter. So that is why it is showing you are incorrect, the correct answer is Jupiter. So this is how debugging work. We debug the code. Now this is a fairly trivial example, but as our programs get more complicated, understanding the values of our variable and the way our program is executing code becomes more and more important.